everyone, welcome to Rinku's vlog. Rinku's vlog is different and hatke because here I actually give my reviews and opinions on documentaries, web series and movies, and at the same time you also find me cooking in my kitchen. Guys, for some, a perfect gift for entertainment would be to watch a fictional rom-com, a comedy or an action movie. But people like me who are passionate and crazy about non-fiction, crime thriller or mystery series or documentary, they will definitely like to spend their night watching a perfect docu-series or a documentary on Netflix. Yes, Netflix is the perfect OTT platform which is actually entertaining us with these documentaries which are actually based on true crime. Well, it might be a true financial crime, or it might be about a sexual predator, or a love which has gone wrong and resulted in a macabre murder or a gory murder. Well, when you watch these docu-series or crime series which are not fictional but real life incidents, it gives you an adrenaline rush. But above all, people like me who watch these series, back to back and binge watch, they actually are watching this because they want to actually acquit themselves from all kinds of warnings which these crime true series actually throw at you, gives you. So these warning actually is like, an indication which we follow, in our real life. We actually look for the psychological or physical traits which a criminal can actually have. So these series are actually a learning lesson for people like us. So audiences love to watch these series because they want, a lot of, not only entertainment, but more than entertainment, it's about infinite knowledge. So when you're watching these crime series, you are, actually, you at the end of the night or day, whenever you're watching this docu-series, you actually get infinite knowledge, you get all the warning signs, and of course it's addictive. And on top of it, you get the adrenaline rush which these crime series gives you, because these things or these crimes have happened in the real life. They're not fictional. So guys, I've actually compiled a list of the best of Netflix crime series. So without much ado, let me present you this part 1 of Netflix top 10 crime series. Let's start. Tiger King, Murder, Mayhem and Madness, which got released in 2021 and it reached the number 1 spot. It reached the popularity charts all over America, and of course in India people loved this docu-series. This is a 7-episode docu-series which is crazier. With each episode you will go crazier because you will pinch yourself again and again to believe it. This is stranger than fiction. This is about a flamboyant and eccentric zookeeper who calls himself Joe Exotic. So this is the Tiger King, who actually is the owner of a private big cat zoo in Oklahoma. So the story of Joe Exotic involves guns, lies, his bid for the US presidency and a murder for hire plot. This is must-see docu-series. You cannot miss it. Joe Exotic also gets involved with big cat conservationists such as Carol Baskin, and what happens of this rivalry with Carol Baskin, you have to watch in this documentary Tiger King. Let's move to the number 9 spot, and at number 9 you have Room 2806, The Accusation. Well, this docu-series is about Dominic Strauss-Kahn. He is a French economist, politician, and he served as the 10th managing director of the Internationally Monetary Fund, that is IMF, guys. And of course, he is very popular. He was very popular before he actually, got himself into this scandal, this sexual scandal. He was a member of the French Socialist Party. This docu-series is actually following the 2011 sexual assault case involving this French politician Dominic Strauss-Kahn, who is also known as DSK at the height of his career. while you would be watching this documentary. I can guarantee that you would go through different emotions. At times you would be utterly disturbed. You will feel disgusting, because you will find that how this powerful French figures would be endorsing DSK's predatory behavior, and how they are downplaying the rape of a maid just because she's a maid. So this is very interesting and of course disturbing to watch. So do watch this documentary, Room 2806, The Accusation. Number 8 is the documentary Killer Inside the Mind of Aaron Hernandez. Well, through interviews, through his friends, players and insiders, this docu-series is actually covering and examining how Aaron Hernandez went from an NFL star to a convicted killer. Well, there are many who loved him a lot, and it is actually unacceptable for those people who adored, who worshipped Aaron Hernandez, as a player, to accept that he can be a killer. Well, Aaron Hernandez was once the New England Patriots' rising star. He scored a Super Bowl touchdown in 2012 when he was just 22. When at such a young age, when you achieve so much, then definitely people look up to you and can't believe that you can be convicted of a murder. So this documentary series is actually, examining everything, trying to understand what went on and what was the reason how Hernandez ended up as a convicted murderer. So you need to watch this docu-series. It's interesting and I'm pretty sure it's gonna touch your heart. Number 7 is the documentary Don't F with Cats. Well, in this docu-series, you will find that all the information is well presented, the pace is perfect, the story is one that is not only bizarre but very twisted, and it makes a compelling watch, and understand the audience and keeping the audience mind. They have actually presented it. So you will find that it is hard to skip when you start watching this docu-series, and the most satisfying and encouraging part would be that at the end you will find that whoever is the culprit or the monster, he gets arrested and jailed. This documentary, that is Don't F with Cat, it's about a twisted criminal's gruesome video which drive a group of amateur online sleuths to launch a risky manhunt that brings them into a dark underworld. So very interesting, must watch. It's just a 3-part docu-series, and it got actually released in 2019. A true crime docu-series written and directed by Mark Lewis. Let's move to the number 6 spot, and number 6 is the documentary The Keepers. Well, I have to tell you that it is very intense series to watch. My heart actually broke when I watched this series, especially my heart was bleeding for the young girls who were deceived and permanently damaged by the person whom they used to believe so much. Well, the series The Keepers is a 7-episode American documentary which explores the unsolved murder of nun Catherine Sesnick in 1969. Sesnick used to teach English and drama at a high school, where her students actually believed that there was a cover-up by authorities after she suspected that a priest at the high school was actually involved and guilty of sexually abusing the students there at the high school. Well, you must watch this beautiful and heart-rending documentary, The Keepers. Number 5, I have kept the true crime documentary series Killer Sally. It has just 3 episodes. This docu-series focuses on the very complex true crime story while examining domestic violence, gender roles, and how the world of bodybuilding affected the trial. You will find interviews of friends and family of Ray and Sally. Well, this crime series is definitely very raw and fascinating to watch. Killer Sally analyzes the truth of their time together. That is, Killer Sally is Sally McNeil, who was charged with murdering her abusive husband, famous bodybuilder Ray McNeil. So it analyzes the truth of their time together and the legal system's outdated treatment of McNeil's tragic tale. Killer Sally is a heartbreaking but bizarre true story that shines a new light on an old case, and definitely you are going to get a lot of info about the bodybuilding world also. Killer Sally at number 5. Number 4 spot is occupied by the true crime documentary, which is a 5-part docu-series. Monique Olivier, Accessory to Evil, which is a 5-part docu-series. It details how law enforcement in France managed to link the country's most notorious serial killer, Michel Fournier, and his unsolved cases, which actually ranged in time frame from the 1980s to the early 2000s. The link was his wife, Monique Olivier. But as we find out during the series, her participation in his horrific crimes was more than just that of a submissive woman in fear of a domineering husband. She was not a submissive woman. She was an active participant, not a pawn. So this would be a great watch. Monique Olivier, Accessory to Evil on Netflix. Number 3 spot I would like to give to the documentary Girl in the Picture. I have to say that this is one of the most horrific, very sickening, frightening and bizarre thing which I have watched recently. It's damn horrific, guys, and many people have been left disturbed after watching this messed up crime documentary. Girl in the Picture actually got released on 6th July 2022. This documentary follows the shocking events that transpired after the death of a young girl who is actually in the picture, and people are trying to find out her identity. This is based on the books A Beautiful Child and Finding Sharon by Matt Burbeck, who is also the executive producer and who also appears in this documentary. The story is centered around a young girl known as Sharon Marshall, who was abducted by federal fugitive Franklin Floyd and then raised as his daughter, and then he forces her to marry him, and ultimately she died in a suspicious hit-and-run accident in 1990. So you must watch this documentary. Girl in the Picture is sickening, it's heart-rending, and I'm pretty sure you will actually, will be lost for words to describe the life of this young girl, that is Sharon Marshall. Girl in the Picture, Netflix. Number 2 spot goes to The Trials of Gabriel Fernandez. It's a 2020 American true crime documentary series which is about the 2013 murder and abuse of Gabriel Fernandez, who is an 8-year-old boy from Palmdale, California. I have actually watched this documentary when it actually got released. It's just a 6-part miniseries. But guys, it has the potential to disturb you to the core. And trust me, guys, it's not a typical docu-series in terms of subject matter. There should be a trigger warning attached to this documentary, because when I say that Girl in the Picture actually shook me to the core, or shaken me to the core, this series about Gabriel Fernandez, definitely it actually will hit you hard, because it's actually will force you to question the authorities, who are actually government agencies who are there to actually protect the children, so that they can lead a protected life, but they are the ones who actually fail to protect them, and for the stupidest reasons. So it's very difficult to watch. I actually took a lot of breaks to complete this docu-series because it's about a young boy. So whenever a docu-series or a crime series is about young children or women, helpless women, it definitely shake you, it definitely disturb you, and it's very difficult to watch. And this series, of course, it's a little slow pace, but because that this was a very it was in the news for a very long time, and it is about a young boy, so definitely you would be actually forced to complete it because you want to know what happens at the end. And of course, it's filled with a lot of sadness. So please watch this documentary, The Trials of Gabriel Fernandez. The number 1 spot goes to Dahmer, Monster, the Jeffrey Dahmer story. It's an American true crime series created by Ryan Murphy and Ian Brennan for Netflix. It got released on September 21st, 2022, and I was very lucky to watch it on the same day. Dahmer is about the life of a serial killer, Jeffrey Dahmer, it has been played by Yvonne Peters, and I have to tell you, Yvonne Peters was phenomenal. This series actually clinched the #1 spot immediately after its release on the Netflix, and it received 4 nominations at the 18th Golden Globe Awards, guys. Well, if you have the love for horror movies, I have to tell you that this is actually the most horrendous thing I have watched. Okay, I didn't have the stomach to watch this documentary in one go. I really wanted to binge watch, because when I have to say about the cinematography or the acting by Yvonne Peters, okay, everything, performance, okay, the background score, the way it has been presented, the direction, everything is phenomenal, and I wanted to binge watch, but it was nauseating to watch, okay, and it was very difficult, so I actually took multiple breaks. I was enjoying it very much, but it was sickening. It was graphic, okay, graphic in the sense, I'm not saying that they have shown the explicit violence, okay, but it is graphic in the details, okay, and you will feel that you are in the apartment of Jeffrey Dahmer, okay, when he's committing the crime, and that's the nightmare. You don't want to be there because you're imagining everything there. So the actors were definitely out of the world, okay. Yvonne Peters, as I said, exceptional, phenomenal. The director is fantastic. The script was brilliant, and I have to tell you that you guys are missing big time if you have not watched it. Do watch Dahmer. Everything is phenomenal about this documentary. And with this, it's a wrap on my compilation of Netflix Top 10 True Crime Docu-Series Part 1, guys. Part 2 would be coming very soon. If you have liked this, please do like, share and subscribe. It's a wrap, guys. Love you all. Bye-bye.